Carla, and welcome to Lesson 2 of Kids Art Week. Today we're going to make a book, or kind of like a fold-out story. When you look at it this way, all folded up, we have our drawing here, and then maybe the title of whatever you've drawn. But then when you open it up, like an accordion, you can make other animals from part of the seal. So this is the head of the seal, and then I made kind of a rooster body. This is the tail of the seal, but I finished it with kind of an elephant. And then you can also finish your story with the new drawings, or about the new drawings. So you start out like this, and then you fold it like that. So it's supposed to be sort of like a surprise. The first thing we need to do, though, is make the book structure. But let me tell you the supplies you'll need for today. You'll need your set of colored pencils and some tape. This can be masking tape, or Scotch tape is just fine. You'll need some scissors and a glue stick, your pencil, your pencil sharpener probably, and then you'll need a ruler. And this metal ruler, it is nice because I'm going to show you how to tear with it, but if you don't have that, you can just use your scissors. The other thing you need is 2 sheets of kind of heavy 8.5 by 11 paper or similar. So what we're going to do is cut this down to a size so that it'll match when we add our sidewalk cracks. And let me kind of show you what I mean. We're looking for this structure. This is 8.5 tall by 9 wide, and there's 2 sheets that we're taping together. And then when we're going to fold them down, this part will be 3 inches, this part will be 6 inches, and then opened all the way up, it'll be 9 inches. Our cracks that we've been working on that are in the book or the printouts are 6 inches. So that's why we have these measurements, but I'll get to that. First thing you need to do is take your ruler and measure out 9 inches wide. And I'm just going to make 2 marks with my pencil. And then I'm going to take my ruler and line it up on the marks. Holding it down flat, I'm just going to tear up my paper. And then I'm going to do it on the second piece of paper. So that's a quick way to cut down your paper. You can also use, draw your line and cut it with scissors. Next thing I'm going to do is open it up and put the 2 torn pieces together. And I'm going to get some tape. And then I'm going to tape them. Now what happens often with this Scotch tape is one side will sort of get stuck first. In this case, it's the one on the right. So I'll get it all stuck on there, and then I can position my paper to line up. And I don't want it to go right to the edge. I've left just a little space in there so that we can fold it. And now I'm just going to add another piece of tape to the back just to make it stronger. Okay, so here's the first part of my book. The next thing I want to do is measure 3 inches from this side. And all I have to do now is fold my paper on those little marks. So here's my mark, and I'm going to line it up and fold it. Now younger kids might want to have somebody help do this, and older kids, you can just do it. Now I'm going to fold this in half, turn it over, and then just fold my 3 inches on the other side. I don't have to measure it because I'm just doing what I did before. So right now I have these folds, and what I need to do now is glue on my sidewalk cracks. Now, in lesson 1, we each did 3 of these animals, and here are my 3. And what I'm going to do is pick one that I think might be nice for a cover. And I'm going to pick this one, and I need to cut it out. So I'm going to lose some of this hair, but that's okay. And again, if you're not used to using scissors, have someone help you. And if you do cut and you're not very neat, that's okay too. That adds to the fun. Okay. So this is the scary part. I have my animal, and where it's going to go, well, actually, let me just fold these last things in. Once you have them folded like this, you need to fold this one to the middle. So it goes like that. And then you need to fold this one to this middle. Okay. So what we're going to do now is glue this one to be at the top in the front. And what you have to do then is cut it in half. So what I usually do is I'll just fold it in half and then cut. Okay. So I'm going to glue. I like to use a nice piece of scratch paper and then a glue stick, and I'll start in the middle and do like a circle and then all the way on the edges. And so right now there's glue here, so I'm going to put that aside. And then I'm going to put this one, I'm going to open this up to get it out of my way, and I'm going to put this guy right here. Now it might not be perfect. I think I have a little extra over here, so I'm going to trim that off. You don't have to trim it off, but if you want to, you can. But the main thing is you want to get it close to this folded edge. Okay, so now I need to glue the second side. Right there. I do a circle and I try to cover most of the paper. I might miss a spot or two, but I really try to get all of it, and especially on the edges. Remember, there's wet glue here, so set it aside. And if you want, you can open it up or you can keep it folded. I'm going to just open it up. And I want it to go right on the edge of that fold again. I'm going to check it. Pretty close. Good enough. And then I'm going to trim off this little bit. Okay. So that's the first step, is to glue down one of your animals so that it makes a nice cover. The second step is to glue down 2 more sidewalk cracks that you've cut out. So I've cut them out of the sheets, and I'm just going to glue them down. Okay, and again, the edges are the most important. And you see it went over a little bit on the fold, and that's just fine. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. Now I have no idea what I'm going to make at this point. I'm just gluing down my cracks, making sure that they're lined up pretty nicely so that you get it like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold it down to make sure everything folds nicely. And before I get started, I'm going to write the title of this animal, or what I think this animal is. He started out to be a bird, and then he had 4 legs. So, and then I also thought maybe he was an elephant. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to name him an elephant bird. L-E-Elephant, bird. Okay. So now when I open it up, what I want to do is use these 2 animals to make 2 other animals, or these 2 half animals to make other animals. So first thing I'm going to do is look carefully over here and see what I can do. Now remember, I can follow the cracks or not, and sometimes when you turn the page you get a nice surprise and it's just obvious what you should do. For example, I'm seeing here, right here, kind of like a wing. And it doesn't work perfectly, but I could definitely do that. I can make the wing even bigger, like way over here. I like that. So I'm going to actually make this wing, and then I'm going to have to go off the crack to make it work. But it'll be fun to have this really big wing. And then now I have to connect this thing because it doesn't make any sense. Just cut off right that. Maybe this is where I have kind of like more of a bird-like beak. So then now this becomes kind of truly a bird. 2 legs and a wing, and then I can add all my details. Let's see what's going on over here. This I had thought of as an elephant trunk, and of course when it was like this, it was barely an elephant trunk. But now that I see it, I can see an elephant right here. And it doesn't quite match, but I can make it match pretty good. That's the wonderful thing about these cracks, is they tell you what to do. And again, I don't have to follow that exactly. I want to make this connect. This seems like it's a nice leg, and this seems like it's a nice leg. So now I have these 2 new creatures, and I'm going to start coloring them in. And while I do that, I'm going to think about how I can link them together in this story. I started out with the word elephant and ended with bird. Elephant. What I could do is add a the right here, so it's called the elephant bird, right? And then I can make my sentence something like, the elephant is afraid of the giant, and I'm going to use giant really big, the elephant is afraid of the giant bird. Here it's just called the elephant bird. The elephant is afraid of the giant bird. Now I have my story, and now I can continue to color in my animals. So that is your assignment, is to create a book structure. Take one of your animals from lesson 1 and cut it in half and make it the cover. Name it, add 2 more sidewalk cracks, finish those animals, and then create your story. I can't wait to see your books. Please share online if you like, and thanks again for being here, and we'll see you next time.